A very special good morning to you, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to PSA TV. This is the Wake Up Call segment. I'm Avalon Williams. In studio with us this morning, his name is Anthony Williams. He is the political leader of the Trinidad and Tobago Democratic Front. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
I know you came from far.
Very far, deep south.
Yeah. Anthony, I know it's your first time here with us with PSA TV. If you can tell the viewers and listeners, who's Anthony Williams?
Well, Anthony Williams is from Point Fortin. I was born in Point Fortin Area Hospital. I'm from Captiville. Well, most people who would know me, I'm going to say my nickname, but from Pundit Street. So you could say that's me in a nutshell, Somebody who, a son of the soil from Point Fortin, who here to show Point Fortin and Trinidad and Tobago the differences that we can make in TNT.
Anthony, why you decided to serve the country? Why you decided this politics?
Why I have decided to get in politics? Most of the time when I'm walking along the road in Point Fortin, people just talk a lot about politics, about PNM and UNC and who doing and who ain't doing. Sometimes I'll throw a little comment and they'll say, why you not shame out? What you doing? You just there, you ain't doing nothing, you ain't trying to fight for the country. Hear that for years and years and years and years. And then I keep sitting and watching how the political arena keep going back and forth, back and forth. So one day I decided, being a father, I got kids, being a father, and seeing that Point Fortin going down the drain, we look like a shanty town now, I decided to get up and fight. And now is the time.
I mean, you're saying that Point Fortin is going down the drain in terms of?
Jobs, crime, infrastructure, no development.
So you're saying that the present government right now has forgotten about Point Fortin people?
I say in the past and present government did nothing for Point Fortin. Nothing for Labrie, nothing for South really. I could say the mostly did for, I can't even say people, their followers or the groups or the people who stand up and voted for them. I more see that they did for themselves. So seeing all seeing all the issues that going on in Trinidad and Tobago, the poverty-stricken areas, the non-development, the bad roads, the resources being taken for granted and sold out and not benefiting the people, bringing back no type of benefit. And local businessmen who entwine with their political friends, only moving towards, building, creating, and getting rich off our citizens that they don't even support, not even our sports day, a birthday party, a carnival, because carnival dead end point. If you ever come to Point Fortin Carnival, you'll be standing by yourself.
Right.
The only thing Point Fortin really have is borrowed day, and how long Point Fortin could survive just on a borrowed day as something as, financially structured to say, yeah, bringing in some kind of money to the economy. It makes no sense.
But you could tell us more about the Trinidad and Tobago Democratic Front, though, in terms of policies and stuff. What are your policies?
Well, the Trinidad and Tobago Democratic Front have 37 policies, right? It is aimed at citizens, helping bring growth for citizens, but more aimed at also at our youth population, to get them off the streets, off the blocks, out of, how should I say it, the drug dealers' hand, policies that could help them grow and policies that they could benefit from.
Is that out of the 37, your focus is more on youths?
Yeah.
So you're saying that this present government, have they done that though? Are you seeing any sort of?
In my days when I was a boy and growing up, they never did. And today as a man, I still don't see it. youths is the ones, the youth population is the ones from my time to now that has always been left behind. You know, you come out to us, well, I'm an old man now, but you know, you come out to the youths, you tell them vote fair, you play them the game, you throw the big fets, you give the free food, you get most of them drunk, and then you steal the vote, and then nothing. That's a fend for the self. No jobs, no real job creation, no real advancements towards education. Most of we youths die in the hospitals because, you know, healthcare is hell, and the private system costly. So it's a lot of issues, and we have brilliant young people in Trinidad and Tobago who study hard, right? And a lot of them leaving school every year, and it has nothing at all for them. I just weep when I walk in through my areas in Point 14 and seeing youths just they wasting away. So I'm fed up. I want to help them.
Anthony, under the PNM regime, what changes have you seen from the previous to now administration?
Well, I see Petrotrin gone.
Yeah.
Big mistake. You know, that was one of the dumbest move a prime minister in the history of Trinidad and Tobago could make. It had a lot of ways we could have saved Petrotrin. It even had Caribbean leaders who wanted to invest in Petrotrin. You know, we could have set a deal with them, you know. We could have pulled back Petrotrin, set up a Caribbean board, maybe even changing name to Petro Caribbean. Give each Caribbean member a place on the board so we have a wider scale, ideas, thinking, and a way to create more better and stronger policies towards the growth of Petrotrin and the oil industry, oil and gas industry. But Mr. Man went the other way, so, you know, no disrespect to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, but it was a foolish decision. As for the past regime, how should I say it? They did one thing good. They discovered 2 oil wells down in my area, south, but they didn't have the infrastructure, or they didn't have the time to set infrastructure to deal with that, with those 2 oil wells that have great pressure, nice pressure. Because me and a lot of friends who work in Trimmer, work in these areas, I know we talk about these things. So when the Prime Minister say Trinidad and Tobago pray for oil, you can see when I saw that, you know, newscast, I just tore over and started to laugh. I want to know if I crazy or he more crazy. As for the UNC, we keep going wrong and wrong. Because the Pitch Lake, imagine, Point 14 only have bad roads. I drive in a Tucson the other day. Tucson is not even mine, you know, borrowed from a friend. Heading down the road, dropping a big hole. If I wasn't driving that Tucson, if I was driving them low-end cars, the whole front would have ripped away.
But what about the MP for the area though? And they're driving on the same road, everybody's driving?
No, Edmund Dillander's passing a helicopter. You know,
Okay.
he don't drive in vehicles, he has used helicopter, he just used the train, and the Coast Guard maybe just drop him in by Captiville Beach. So, you know, the roads in a mess. A lot of people would love to come Point. We have people who want to invest in Point, but the structure and the setup at Point 14 and even the roads, you know, that's killing the spirit of a lot of investors.
Besides the roads and stuff being developed, what other infrastructure you think needs to be put in place at Point 14?
We need real jobs. We need job creations in Point 14. Manufacturing could be a big thing in Point 14. Agriculture, we have fishing down there. It's just the process, the packaging. I was talking to a friend in Washington, and he was telling me it have markets for wheat products and agriculture in United States. The problem with Trinidad and Tobago, the packaging, we can't get it right. So it don't really, filter into their system. A lot of people might ship things over there, and because of the packaging, the Americans just toss it aside.
Why though? What is it with the packaging that is making it so difficult?
Sometimes they want to see ingredients. That is one of the main things. They want to see ingredients. They want to see timeage, how long it will last, well, they know it come from Trinidad, but all these things. I believe we only had 2 labs in Trinidad and Tobago, right? I don't know if Tobago have one, but that does do the testing for food products and so on, right? A big country like Trinidad and Tobago, a 2 or 1 lab, and all that is the issue. So if you don't test the food and put down what the food made of or what you put into the plants, America will not accept it. Other countries will not accept it. They have the bylaws.
I just want to come back to the Trinidad and Tobago Democratic Front. Do you have a team of people working with you now? When is their launch as well? Have you launched?
I have a team of people working with me. We have a lady chairman. We have a very nice lady, very, very nice lady. The launch is Saturday the 10th in Point Fortin by the old skating arena in the Baca Courts. It's a area that, that the youths used to use to roller skate and so on, but the owner trying to bring it back. So I told him, seeing that we're trying to push development for the small business people in Point Fortin, are going to have it by him. So we will start with his business place and see where we could go from there. So the 10th, like this Saturday, from 5 to 7, we'll be there. So we asking the nation and Point Fortin, please come down. We, as I said, we have the policies, we have the knowledge, we have the know-how, and we ain't coming to play politics, right? The other day a man telling me we need a revolution. Say we need blood, guns. We had a deal with PNM and UNC. I say, hold up, brother, hold up, brother, hold up. I say no blood by the vote. I say, who will they give new a chance? You watch me. Nobody really. I said that is the point. All I need to give somebody new a chance, not rooted from the PNM or the UNC. So he tell me he go put the guns. When I tell him I'm going up, he say, okay, brother, we go put the guns down for now.
Anthony, well, how can you make a difference in Trinidad, Anthony?
How can I make a difference in Trinidad and Tobago? For one, be real to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, a lot of people come in office and they say they're going to be real, they're honest,
yes.
and then
and
in the long run,
then they do something differently. But unlike Rowley and Kamala, who never pull a wrench in their life, who never really come close to smell the oil and say, yeah, this quality, could work. You could smell oil and realize which heavy, which light, which bad, and, being an oil man.
Right.
Never did that. One shut down petrotrin. Never pull a wrench in your life. The other one, well, as I say, the pitch lake, which was leased out under the UNC, right? And this is the thing. A lot of people in Trinidad and Tobago do not know the pitch lake lease out to the Chinese. I don't understand this. Even in my area, even people in Labrie, when you say, hey, the pitch lake lease out? What? What are you talking about? Who the pitch lake lease out under? A number of people, when you ask that question, don't know their own pitch lake lease out to the Chinese under the UNC and strengthened by the PNM because they're in charge now. And it's a lot of issues. So one, I will be fair, I will be straight. Going back to the old days, we cannot go back there. We have to move forward. Forget 2019, forget 2020. We're coming soon to 2030. And we have to think about in 2030 where we're going to be as a country and a nation. You know, are we going to be moving up, moving forward into a life settings that benefits all citizens, or are we going to be going backward ever?
Anthony, I just want to pull some comments here that I'm seeing. Some Samuel Stafford is asking you, what is your views of the justice system?
I would ask Samuel Stafford if he have a sledgehammer, and I'll take that sledgehammer and I'll take it to the justice system and break it right down. It needs to be reformed, big time. It have a lot of issues, The courts slow. The whole system, it don't work. We need night courts. We need new prisons. We need a technology-based structure for the courts, right? Where when a prisoner in point 410, right, did a crime in point 410, don't have to leave up here to come to point 410. We do it through technology. The justice system have a lot of issue, and they're not transparent, and the integrity damaged bad. I believe that it have too much my friend and your friend in the justice system. So a lot of people get away with a lot of things. Not the poor man, not the youths, not the man with the little joint, not the man who might shoplift a tin of milk because he has no jobs to feed the baby. He will go down for months, years. He might even wait 2 or 3 years before he may hear a case. But for men like, you know, A and V and other men with money, the system works for them, but it do not work for the average man. Another thing too, a lot of players making money through this broken system. So nobody wants to change it. Not even, what's his name? The CG or what's his name? The Chief Justice?
Chief Justice Ivy,
yeah, that is another big fraud. Another big fraud. And to see that he's not being investigated for certain issues or even brought forth in front of some kind of integrity commission, it shows you the justice system needs to be broken apart. We need separation of powers. We need new courts. We can't have, okay, for instance, we can't have the union going into the industrial court, the industry court, right? Fight a case, win. Then the government say, here what's going on? We're going to appeal that decision and then take it to the government court. Like craziness. Who you think going to win? The industrial court should have its own appeal court. Otherwise, the union will keep going downward for the ever. Fighting for workers will just be a waste of time because the government will always be on top of them. And I love Roger. Roger is my boy. He and my uncle work together, Carlton Rosales. I learned a lot from Roger, when Roger was working trimmer in his stores, So they are knowing from. Good fella, he fighting. I just hope he's not like McLeod,
In terms of public servants, though, what would you put in place for public servants? Because you know the issue that's going on with negotiations, which Mr. Duke is doing with it.
For public servant, I would say public servant needs new contract, right? Public servant also needs to know how to deal with customers. So a little more training. As for pay, right? I believe public servants should be paid what is owed to them. They work damn hard for it, right? Even though I must be honest, some don't, but we can't let the few damage the many. And a lot of them work hard. They have families to mind. They have bills to pay, just like Kamala and Rowley, just like me. They have bills to pay. They have things to do. They have kids to send to college. And I think the government should be fair. They should sit down and really talk, talk about the way forward, talk about paying people the just dues. Because look at this. The PNM them raised the pension, right? The UNC said they wants no part, right? Rowley say he gonna bring out a contract for everybody to sign, and who don't want, and who don't want, don't take. Right? We hear anything about that again? No. So I guess everybody get a raise. So why public servants cannot get their money? Why government at the head, right? Let me say this, we call them the snake head. Why the snake head must better themselves, eat good, live good, and the people, right, who carrying them getting less. That is unfair. And contract workers in a public service, them just get the worst deal. I have a friend, or friends, work in contract under the government in the public service, and of course, no benefits, no holidays. They work damn hard. When I say hard, they work damn hard. My friend, she just work real hard. Serve a lot of people, make sure everything works the way it's supposed to work, and so on. I don't want to say where she's working. I don't know if Rowley might go after she. And they get the lease. When they take home their money, them can't even afford to pay the rent. They can't afford to travel. By the time they pay the rent, they put money aside for traveling, try to deal with kids and babysitters. They may be left with about $300 or $200 to go in the grocery. That is very unfair. So I think public servants should get the just cause. I think the government needs to stop threatening these people and talking about, if I give you it, you're gone or you're going to lose your job. I think Rowley, as a man who came from nowhere, because he said he came from nowhere, right? He used to walk to school bare feet. Well, so he say. But
That's in Tobago?
Some tell me he used to wear slippers. I know how true it is, but he say bare feet. And this is what you're doing to your people. This is not strangers. This is your people. This is citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Your people that you take an oath for, say that you would respect, that you would carry the weights that they have on their shoulder to make sure they get a better life and fair pay. And this is what you're doing them. You're threatening them. I think the union should no bad words. I think the union should take him to task, right? Because at the end of the day, as Mr. Mann say, wheel yourself offer the government, right? Remember his statement? Wheel yourself offer your government. But the government not wheeling himself offer the people. So it have a lot of issues. So I say deal with contracts when it comes to public servants, right? Well, all that will cover the training and so on, Right. Some of them could do a little better, a little more faster service. But then again, I would say the man at the head, which is the government, needs to put infrastructure and technology in place so that service could happen. As I said, for the pay, he needs to give them the money. It's been far too long, and it's building up and building up and building up. And citizens in Trinidad and Tobago shouldn't be paying, as he said, for past mistakes at any government. Neither the children.
In terms of crime, do you have any plan of action for crime?
Yes, I have a nice policy for crime. Very nice policy to deal with crime, to wear out crime. More smart cities, right? Actually, Point Fortin is a borough, but one of my biggest dreams, someone tell me I can't do it. He said we don't have enough people in Point Fortin for it. But the problem is a lot of people leave in Point Fortin because it has nothing. Point Fortin like a shanty town. So they live in Point Fortin, they come into Port of Spain, they go in Chagonas, they're looking for jobs everywhere. So the population of Point Fortin keep getting smaller and smaller. But if we could bring all those people back to Point Fortin by creating jobs, as I say, setting proper infrastructure, cheap housing, right? Not AGC housing. I don't believe AGC is real housing, AGC housing is 4 slabs put together and you connect them. Can't pass down to your children. I believe that Point could be a great hub for beach tourism. That is one of my ideas, beach tourism in Point Fortin, because we are one of the best beach in Trinidad and Tobago. So is all that.
But your plan for crime?
Crime, on the other hand, as I said, technology. Turn we boroughs or cities into smart cities. Come on, technology rule the world. We had to start thinking ahead. Even we licensing offices need to be computerized. I don't know what they're waiting for in Trinidad and Tobago. Since I was a boy, I keep hearing that going to happen, but we're still waiting. Also, dealing with corruption in the police service. Because this is no offense to Gary Griffith, right? You say Emailgate dead. You come and see another case dead, right? And you say dead, and it dead. Emailgate closed, that is it. And we just had to take it as that, no third party or fourth party or anything to say, hey, maybe, because as you know, he was the Minister of Security when all these things went down. So when he became the Commissioner, I saw it as a conflict. People say, no, it's not a conflict, but I saw it as a conflict, right? Because, we still had Emailgate hanging over his head and so on, even though people saying he was not part of it. But then, that same man who was the Minister of Security under Kamala and the Emailgate fiasco came and said, it's done, same man, right? To deal with crime also, I believe Gary Griffith have too much of powers. It should be separated. I believe we intelligence or Homeland Security, right? Intelligence service should be separated from the police. I believe we border control services should be separated from the police. We should have about 3 groups. We should have directors and we have the commissioner, right? So the intelligence and the border, I would like to see it go under the president and let the commissioner deal with only the police, right? All that would bring down crime. As I said, structure for jobs, getting kids off the streets, awareness, teaching them a different way, showing them that they have the support when they fall, We will reach out to them and pick them up. All that could put a dent in crime.
As we're on crime, I just wanted to touch a bit. I mean, some of them have rated the Commissioner Gary Griffith 7, 7.5, 8.5 since he's been in office. Do you think
who rate
I wish I had to
Mr.
call
Gary
names.
There was
it was there in the newspapers.
Yeah, but there was police, right? Ex-police and police in certain positions.
Right.
Police rating police.
Right. Since his time in office, have you seen a difference in terms of crime?
I give Gary Griffith I give him a 6. And
what's the reason for that 6?
For 6? The reason I give him the 6 for is for the testing, the polygraph testing. Right? But then, you know what? I'll take away 1 from that 6 and give him 5. Because till this day, he really can't get that through because he's being fight down by the same people who rated him. So I don't really see a dent in crime. I don't really see Griffith making much difference besides always being on, the Facebook Lives and the news and the papers, and that's about it. To me, he's a Hollywood detective in a small island.
So you're saying that you don't see much
No.
From Commissioner Gary Griffith?
Not really. Because when we have people still walking the streets and so on and thinking about who's going to be next.
So what are the measures you think he should put in place in order to bring the crime level down in the country? Because it doesn't take just one man to do something like that.
Well, since I was growing up, we always hear ministers came into power and said they don't know where the drugs and the guns coming from.
Right.
I from South. We are one of the closest points to Venezuela. The high-tech weaponry that come in do not come from Grenada. It do not come from Barbados. It do not come from St. Lucia. It comes from South. It comes from Venezuela. I have been to Venezuela, right? I have been around fellas who on the next side, right? They mix in the business. And when you see the type of weapons those guys have, like they're from Iraq or Afghanistan, and you watch those weapons, the same weapons them fellas carrying in Trinidad and Tobago and killing people crazily. Same weapons. So the guns actually coming down. The main target should be down in my area, South. Everything that comes to Port of Spain or environs comes from South. And one of the issues is if we don't figure out a way to clamp down those borders, right? Because I remember a minister say, I think was, what's his name, boy? The minister for Point Fortin, when he was Minister of Security, said it have too much points and he couldn't cover them, Edmund Dillon, right? But the strongest points that these weapons and drugs come through is down on my end, right? I'm from down there. I saw a lot of things when I was growing up. It comes from my end. We have Chatham Beach, we have Erin, we have Fanny Village Beach, we have Captiville Beach, Fullerton, and other points going back to around Chatham, Lower Down, and so on. It's just one boat dash across and one boat dash back. And those areas still open out till this day. Even when they said they closed the borders, people were still moving. Things were still happening. I have friends, as I say, some of them in the wrong thing. You could talk to a man, but you can't tell a man, hey, so by so, you need to change certain ways. That is all you could do. You can't drag them. And things still coming in. So when them say borders closed, police have everything covered, and we still have corrupted police, walking with streets with the good apples, nothing changes. Same structure. Some will turn a blind eye to the bigger problems. I know fellas who left the Coast Guard when they saw drugs coming in, and the big man tell them, hey, you didn't see nothing. I know a girl who left the police force because of some things she see. So if you can't deal with your police service and you can't get them to take a polygraph test and you have to beg them and fight with them, now we have this new body. Some guy when the police, he's the head of the police body, fighting it out. So why would I don't want to take a polygraph test?
Are you referring to the president of the police association?
Yes.
Gideon
Yes, I am.
Gideon Dixon?
Yeah. Why you don't want to take a test? Let your men them take the test. I would tell him personally, as a boy, 19 and 20 years old, hanging by Fanny Village Beach, I saw police officers moving drugs from Point Fortin police station.
But Anthony, I mean, if citizens and persons seeing, what's happening in the country, who's involved and stuff like that, do you think that, citizens should work with the police service, could work with Mr. Griffith to kind of bring down the crime level? Everybody speak about a lot of crime, but it doesn't take one individual to stop the crime in the country.
So let me ask you this. When we go to Griffith or we go to any other police body, or we go to the Point Fortin station, or we go to the Shagona station, we go to all these corrupted stations, some of these stations that are finding guns.
But there's a police complaint division as well, right? You can go to.
Yeah, when somebody comes shooting up your house.
Isn't there some sort of security measures in terms of giving info and the government,
It's not working.
Okay.
People scared like hell. It have a lot of drug dealers coming out in the road and doing the business in the road. They don't care anymore. But people will not go to the police, right? Because people believe if they go to the police, it will have repetition. They will come back at you. Or Puch police station, right? In that area, it have many fellas selling drugs. And when you ask these fellas, who you selling drugs for? You know, you're just a man on the ground now talking to people, you know? Or the seers, they like your vibes, they're talking to you. Is a policeman drugs I pushing? Is a policeman give me this gun to sell? And it's happening out there. I am a man that's be on the ground. I know what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago.
Do you think the commissioner is doing a good job? I mean, look at what's happening in Sealots, Beetham.
You're killing people, yeah, you're jailing people, but sooner or later they will come out. They will either get the bail, they might be first timers, because even the bill they bring is not, they don't block first timers. You have to be a repeat offender, right? And it's the first timers you have to worry about. Them is the killers. The repeat offenders, like I ain't gonna call certain names, you know, because, you know, kind of, you know, they would be in there, right? And they would still be able to call the shots outside. I know a guy, right? Now you wouldn't know the Gun Hill thing. Well, if anybody out there know about Gun Hill, in that time when I was growing up, Gun Hill was one of the worst in the country. Gun Hill had the most set of wanted fellas, right? But they changed their life now. They're doing good. And I remember a guy who shot. That it was a Bijlal Singh, it was a robbery by Bijlal Singh. And a young lady say, I know you. And she got shot in the head. And a couple of months ago, I was by a bar lineman, you know, just having a drink, Trinidad and Tobago, just one drink, you know, a casual drinker. And this person touched me on my shoulder, called me by my nickname. Nobody know that nickname. Only, you know, people who really know me on the ground.
Right.
And I turned around and I said, but wait now, what are you doing outside? He said, I served my time. I think he get about 35 or 40 years, or maybe less, and he outside already. You shoot somebody in the head and kill the daughter, and you back out on the street. Now you telling me, suppose he's still doing the same things and change his life, and he will kill again? It was easy for him to kill. What he doing back out on the street?
Good morning and welcome back to PSA TV. This is the Wake Up Call segment. I'm Avalon Williams. In studio here with us this morning, he is the political leader of the Trinidad and Tobago Democratic Front, Anthony Williams. So Anthony, we've just, your logo, I just want them to pull it up for me, for you to just, you know, what made you come about with such logo? I mean, the colors as well, the fire in the middle.
I love my flag. I'm patriotic to the core. I love my citizens. Time to put citizens first. The logo means the hands of togetherness, right? The hands of unity and togetherness, protecting the fires of all our youth population and citizens' hope, protecting our children's future. The symbol has these only makeup of the colors are the red, white, and black. Right? Trinidad and Tobago, here I say, the red, white, and black. The fire in the middle is the hopes and dreams of every single citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, Trinbagonians. Right? It have no race in this logo. It have no African, it have no Indian. I am mixed, it have no mix. None of that. The only ingredient this symbol have is all of us as one, Trinbago, citizens first.
Very nice, unity.
So, unity.
Yeah. I just want to pull some of the comments here. Persons are asking you, I'm getting another one from Samuel Stafford. He said, will you be willing to collaborate with other small political entities?
Well, Samuel, you see us smiling there. I actually had a well, not had a meeting. I had meetings with a lot of small parties. And my issue with these small parties was everybody wants to be leader. It even had a position, a meeting where I actually said, here what's going on. I don't want to be leader. Let this individual be leader. And then, a little bacchanal start. I believe most of these people who start in the little political parties, even those who was under the PNM and UNC, who couldn't have the way, who didn't stand up for citizens, who say, okay, we'll stand up for citizens now, it's too late. I don't see the unity in joining with small parties. Everybody talking unity and unity, but when you get into these meetings, it is more about party, and that is about it. Country after, citizens after. And as I told these individuals, I coming out to fight a war for citizens, to get Trinidad and Tobago and we resources back in the hands of citizens. I come out to fight a war to protect we children because I'm a father. And when I leave this earth, right, not in a plane, because all we had to go back in a casket, go back in the ground, I need to know that my children, my children's friends, my neighbor's children, every citizen children in Trinidad and Tobago, or mothers and fathers who thinking about having families who just married and so on, have that the children have a future. And I will not rest, and I can't be happy until that happens. So that is it in a nutshell. Joining small parties and saying we doing it for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, I can't, because I don't see the unity. It always have a breakdown of who wants to be leader, who wants to control, who wants to put up a front, who wants to come together so we could show the citizens them a united front, but we're not united in we heart about doing what is right by the citizens and them. I can't. So I'm not saying that I'm knocking it. It have good people out there, but I'm saying most of the meetings that I went to, I don't see any unity happening.
Well, I hope that answers Mr. Stafford's question, though. Back on the unity, the opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Bisasa made a statement where she even mentioned unity. Do you see any sort of unity within the UNC?
I would like to say to the leader of the opposition, tread carefully, because she did that unity, that same call when it was in 2010, when she won the election.
2010, yeah.
Yeah, and how did that go? Most of the people couldn't have the way, couldn't get what they want, didn't get what they signed up for, because in unities, it does have deals. Everybody wants something, and everybody wants something for themselves and for, this is like a guy came to me. He said he want to join the party. He want to run for councillor in Gonzal. I say, okay, smart guy, well known. I say, you're on board. Let me talk about the way forward. The first thing he will watch me and tell me is what I'm getting out of this. What I'm getting for myself. How much money you're getting? I say you start bad. You ain't tell me what your community getting out of it. You ain't tell me what we could do for your community, how we going about changing things for your community. You're studying yourself. And that was the breakdown at the UNC. Everybody in the UNC, in that coalition, started to study themselves. I could call some names of some people who start new parties, but they're rooted from the UNC and PNM, but they're starting new parties and calling unity.
Would you say that is across the board, though?
I would say so. If a man coming to fight for his country, coming to fight for citizens, come with a real mind. You have to put yourself last, I didn't really want to tread too much on the Christian population toes,
Right.
but you had to be like Jesus Christ. You know? If you care for the people and you about the people and you want to change your country, you know, and you're a father and you're watching your child every night face when that child go and sleep and saying you want betterment for that child. You can't only want it for your child alone, you have to want it for everybody, children. And Kamala Prasad and that unity talk, it will only be about who could get what. And yeah, I hope Trinidad and Tobago listening now. Any unity talk within the UNC or PNM, it's not about all, you know. It's about whoever coming to join that unity and bring the followers. Yeah, let's call them followers or members. So bring the followers or the members, the lost sheep, and bring in the masses to get the votes, and then to push them out. And the unity is, I take the piece of gold here, I take the silver, I take the bronze, and that is how we do. And if I can't get more than the other one, the unity mash up already. And then Trinidad and Tobago, the citizens is left behind as always. And that will happen when the UNC and the unity structure broke up. Trinidad and Tobago was left behind, the citizens was left behind. Nothing was done. And then we fall straight back into corruption. So I don't see any unity with these parties working. It will always have a big dog. I could use dog on I don't know. It will always have a big dog who want the bigger bone. So it will fall apart.
Anthony, I know you said the youth is your main focus. In terms of education, what do you have planned? What do you have in plan in terms of education for the youth?
I don't want to give all, but when you hit 18 years, we have a policy for every citizen, youth citizen in Trinidad and Tobago. When you hit 18 years, and I want the youth to know this is not a free ride, because it have rules and guidelines to it. It has something that we're developing called community flats that will be set up in the community for youths. That is yours. That is a standing point and a part of a policy we build in to push youths forward towards educating them, right? Pushing them towards entrepreneurship, developing their minds to be more business orientated, and as I said, getting them off the street. So that is a start. But it will have guidelines to it. You know, it's free, but the utilities, that's on you, right? Is a stepping stone, because we have abused kids, right? We have kids who are in families that just end up in situation and end up in the streets. We have a lot of children in the homes, you know them children homes, around Trinidad and Tobago, and it has nothing in place for them when they hit 18 years and have to come out here. We putting that in place for every youth in those positions in every community. And the more people, the more youths we get in those communities, train them, and change their mindset towards nation building or community building, communities will develop. Crime will go down. They have a home, right? But it will have guidelines, it will have structure to deal with misbehavior.
I'm not sure if you're aware of the GATE funding for the students' education.
This
is, you know, one minute students were not supposed to pay for it. Now some of them are struggling to pay for their GATE tuition fees.
Well, GATE funding is like this. Your house falling down, you might get the most money if you're lucky. Well, sorry, no, your house falling down, you still have to pay a certain money. You have money and your family well off and have a connection in the government, you'll get full funding. I see that as, honestly, a waste of time. I love Bernie Sanders. You know, I just always look at these foreign policies and the way how they make up the structures and so on. And Bernie Sanders took a note from Canada when it comes to free education. And I believe tertiary education and university education should be easy for the youths to get into. And we have policies. I don't want to put it, because I don't want people biting, or you're taking away this and you want to make education free, and it will, no, we ain't going to go through that. But we have policies to put in place towards nation building, where youths who want to study doctorates, who want to do engineering, who want to do advanced technology and stuff, where if we, the Trinidad and Tobago Democratic Front, get into government, it will be free, fully funded.
Okay.
And again, with guidelines, you must give back to the country.
Well, you know, we have an issue where students that did have their doctorates and stuff, they aren't given jobs in Trinidad. So they
leave.
Exactly.
And
but then we have Cubans coming in, Venezuelans coming in.
And, well, I would like to say to all the doctors out there, right? And all the people who want to build this country to be a more, let me say, strong economy and better structured, I will open the gateway for you. And I ain't just talking. I will open the gateway for doctors to get those jobs. We will make sure that all they get those jobs, that all are well trained, that we have things in place for it to keep getting that training, so all will grow, so all can train others, and we will open the floodgates for we citizens to get those jobs, right?
Anthony, another statement I want to just ask your comment on, made by the Prime Minister, where he said Africans are not doing well.
Forgive me for laughing, because sometimes I just want to know what this man's smoking. No disrespect to the Prime Minister office, not the man, right? We have a lot of Africans in Trinidad and Tobago doing very well, right? I don't know if you're talking about Port of Spain, but I know I sure have a lot of Africans in Port of Spain doing very well. Or he may be trying to, say because of what's going on in Sealot, or what's going on in Sealot, what is the other areas?
Beetham.
And Beetham. I don't know if you're taking that as word of mouth to say Africans not doing well. But it have a lot, when I say a lot, especially in point 410, it have a lot of Africans doing well. Business-wise, job-wise, education-wise. But what I would like to ask him, all the Africans are doing very well education-wise. What is the structure you're putting in place for those people to get real jobs? But it have a lot of Africans doing well on both sides. My problem is Trinidad and Tobago, all the Africans and Indians who are doing well, we need to give back. Even the mixed people, right? Because I try to give back. Even the mixed people. So it's not just Indian and African anymore. Mixed people too, doing very well. We need to give back to we communities, no matter how small it is. I would like to call out to the nation, please, to all those people who are doing well, stop, I repeat, stop being selfish. Let's get together, let's get the job done, let me get we communities working again, let me see what we could do for we communities. To my business brothers and sisters in point 410, right, who doing very well also. Stop trying to turn everything into a private situation where you alone, the businessman, could benefit and don't give back to the community. For instance, Clifton Hill Beach, but I won't call no names.
I heard that's a famous beach.
It is a famous beach.
Yeah.
It is a very beautiful beach. Honestly, it was destroyed by Atlantic Energy. Right? Destroyed. When Atlantic Energy came there and was doing the dredging and stuff, it was destroyed. People try to say it's not Atlantic Energy or the dredging, it's time that took place and a process. No. When Atlantic Energy came into play, that beach was eliminated. But it have a other side that doing very well, but it's in the hands, part of it in the hands of a private owner, a black man who now wants to use process to build that beach and have Point Fortin people, he say, well, not Point Fortin people, but outsiders pay to come in. But we know Point Fortin go end up in that. And that is not sensible beach tourism. That is like you have a bar on a beach and you're trying to make money by the door. So that beach needs to be developed in a way, as I said, that it would benefit the whole of Trinidad and Tobago and Point Fortin communities, because beach tourism is the thing all over the world. We have the side where Paski's used to be. There is an old restaurant. I don't know if you ever heard about Paski. You know, nice parties and things. That side destroyed. And it have structures that we could set up. I don't really want to say no. I feel people thief my ideas. But I plan to do a boardwalk on that side and run it to the other side of the beach with a lot of other infrastructure. Plus, as I say, push towards making Point Fortin a safe hub and start to promote beach tourism in Point Fortin. It will benefit citizens, it will benefit the community, and it will benefit a lot of businessmen. So asking the businessmen in Point Fortin, stop being selfish, help build back Point Fortin.
Would you say, Anthony, that there's a lot of waste spending by the government?
We have an AG getting 28 million. Yeah. We have a children's court in the middle of nowhere. Imagine you put a children's court in the middle of nowhere and say it's a great idea in Faizabad. That is a shanty town right now. And somebody collecting a rent of 150,000 a month. Well, it was an ex-minister. Well, he go say it's his wife phone. Just like how the AG saying it's not his own, it's his wife phone. He didn't know that it was going to be rented by the government. He didn't know. But how stupid if you Trinidadians and Tobagonians is? Of course you know it was going to be rented by the state, which is you, right? So, I took a page from Manning, right? I took this page from Manning, right? Great man. He tried his best. Come on, Trinidad and Tobago, he tried his best. Did the race out tight. And what I respect him for, when he decided here what he was going to do, he was going to get rid of the prime ministership. People didn't understand. Why we have a prime minister and a president, right? One is just a mouth collecting a big set of money, and the other one, well, I don't know what to say. Then he decided here we're going to take this building that I built in San Fernando, like the teaching hospital now, and move government bodies from renting, right, and put them inside this building. So I would save the country millions of dollars in tax dollars. And what happened to that idea? They voted him out, that was it, and then they turned into a teaching hospital. So the bodies that he was going to put there stay in the same rental buildings and millions being wasted. We have millions of dollars being wasted every month in rent. That's end up into billions of dollars when you calculate every year, right? It's time for government to come out of that renting mentality. It's time for government to listen to the grandmothers. When old people say rent is dead money, it is dead money and it is a strain on taxpayers. They need to come out of that mentality. And that is one of the pages I took from Manning that I am going to push forward. Moving every piece of government infrastructure, every little piece of government bodies out of renting. Because even in certain areas, I know businessmen building big buildings, right? This is not talk, yeah? I know these men and I talk to these men, you know? And them building buildings and waiting for some minister or some friend to move government bodies into that rental life again. So he set up a building, call a friend, yeah boy, I had the downstairs, I had the middle. Yeah, you could put 3 of your agencies there. How much? A couple of millions? Thank you. Every month. You get that free every month. And it have a lot of ministers out here who connected to friends and investors who setting up display and getting free tax dollars. So they're not just stealing through corruption, they're stealing through rent and a lot of other, any type of ideas they could come up with to rob taxpayers, they're coming up with it. And rental is one of the biggest scams the PNM and the UNC ever brought to Trinidad and Tobago.
So you're saying we're not going to see that with you as well?
No.
Okay.
We're going to have we own. My grandmother said, you must always have your own. We're going to have your own. Every government structure will have its own. We're going to maintain it. We're going to take care of it. The workers are going to treat it with dignity. Come on, they're not going to mash it up now. Because that's how we're going to save billions of dollars that we could put back into healthcare, we could put back into education, we could put into more development, we could put into technology, we could put into a lot of things. People should ask themselves this, and I think I'll do some research on it. It have a couple of licensing office that in rental buildings right now. We have one in Point Fortin, and I think we have one in San Fernando. Imagine how much millions that counting up to at the end of the year. That is foolish thinking. And we in 2019 and government past and present still thinking like that. It needs to end, and it will end.
Anthony, we know the situation with people in Silots and Beetham and Laventille in these areas. And these people are asking for jobs. And they're going on social media, they're chastising both government. Do you think it was right to put a swimming pool in Laventille, or they should have offered people in the community jobs? Do you think a swimming pool will benefit them?
I think Laventille have structure for, for manufacturing ideas, for entrepreneur ideas, reach out to the youths on them, and set up a foundation where these people could use their creativity to market themselves internationally and their businesses. I think that would be the better way to go. You put some money into that and you get them out there, you train them, you stand by them, you be the big brother, and you mold them. A swimming pool, no. Because, no disrespect to the people of Laventille, because at the end of the day, they should ask themselves this question. What is the marketing plan for the young swimmers when they come out of that pool? Are they going to go internationally? Are they going to be picked for the national team? Are they going to be marketed to other swimming clubs? Are they going to have investment put behind them to get them into the Olympics? I don't know. Or we just go in there every Sunday or every evening and learn to swim and take a bath. As I was saying, take a bid.
I just want to pull another question here from Mrs. Stafford. Give us 3 great ideas for new GDP creation for Trinidad and Tobago.
New GDP? 3 great ideas. We had to come up with more creative manufacturing. We had to set up a structure and a foundation that works, especially when it comes to marketing internationally and packaging. We had to use the resources we have here and push it globally. One of the other thing we could also do is look into mega farming, right? We mostly in Trinidad and Tobago, when it comes to all the agriculture, we just plow a piece of land, we throw tomatoes here, we throw green pepper here, and you rain with it and so on. It has so much ways to develop farming, especially when it comes to mega farming. And mega farming could work 100% for Trinidad and Tobago. We could set up a lot of people who want to get into farming towards mega farming and so on, even chickens and all. It have technology and certain ways that could actually push your income, your profits, right, to a higher level. And it would be a graded system that would work internationally, that bodies out there that need food will actually buy from you freely. No issues, you'll be able to pass the mark. As for exports, I think Another way we could deal with it, the exports, we had to make exporting with local goods easier for people. Right now, too much of red tape, the red tape killing we. We have to peel that red tape away, and if it's a, let me say, is a 20 body system, we have to break it down to maybe a 2 or a 3. So we exports get out there faster, easier. That is another way. The tax brackets and all. We could come up with something that works, especially with the tax brackets and so on. It have this other way too, but people might say are crazy. We need to get Petrotrin back in the hands of taxpayers right away, right? As I say, in South, we have the oil. It have places that we never really went into, right? If anybody in Point Fortin or Trinidad and Tobago know about Block Station 25, who know about Block Station 25? Anybody? Anybody who work Tremor or Petrotrin know about Block Station 25 and the wellhead not too far from Block Station 25? All right. Anybody who work Tremor and Petrotrin know that Tremor and Petrotrin was separated and Point used to refine their own oil through Trintoc? Okay, I ain't see no reply. All right, so we have the oil. So that is why when this man say Trinidad and Tobago needs to pray for oil, I want to know what the hell he was thinking. Shutting down Petrotrin, the backbone and the life source of Trinidad and Tobago, was a big mistake. I'm not saying we don't have to go green, no. We need to go green. We need to diversify in other means and technology and resources that will also work for we and bring in towards we GDP, right? But seeing that we have the oil, we need to get Petrotrin back in we hand. And the middleman, right? Because one of the notes that I found out about is that we diesel wasn't A grade. So we set up a system where we was going to sell somebody the diesel for a certain price, and them was going to sell it back to we after they blend it into A grade for a higher price. That is foolishness. Trinidad and Tobago needs to handle their own business. We pitch lake and we oil and gas, we need to handle we own business. All that will add to the GDP. And that is cutting out the middleman. We need to handle we own business. We find we business, refine it, make it to the A grade, set up the structure, go out there and get the buyers, the investors, do it we self. We can't pay a man $5 million US, right? To go to the White House to say that he lobbying for we, and then he come back and buy a certain company. That is foolishness. Then we had to pay him now to develop we product to sell it back to we for a higher price. That is foolishness, that is wastage, that taken away from we GDP, and we need to cut out the middleman. And all this will save we. Cutting out rent and all will also add to we GDP. We need to deal with all these issues. And we need to be real Trinidad and Tobago. We need to stand up for we right, and we need to stop letting people walk over we and pluck we resources out of we hands that we could benefit from, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, all our and future generations. So those ideas will add to the GDP. We just had to be real, and we had to stand up for it and no backing down. And
I think Mr. Samuel Stafford is on a roll with you today. He has another question for you. If for some great reason you were elected, who is your best bet for Minister of National Security?
My best bet? Samuel, I had a friend named Smoke, right? We grew up together. We've been through some hard times. He used to eat all my food and wear all my clothes. I would love he by my side, but he don't really want to get into politics. As for the best bet for Minister of Security, who knows? If you're good at it, I might choose you, come up with some ideas. But as for that, I would say right now, we will have to do a search on that. We'll have to find that person, because right now I'm seeing nobody for that job right now. Nobody.
So you haven't considered any persons in mind as yet? You have no one? Because, I mean, you said your launch is on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, as I said, well, his real name is Anthony Lewis. You know, good guy. Was in the army and stuff. Well mannered, well trained. He grew up from the streets. He's strong will. He have the same views I have. But as I say, right now I'm trying to talk him into getting into the ring, and it's kind of difficult, but we'll see how it go. But I would choose he. I would also know that the decisions I'm going to make to push this country forward will only benefit citizens and the youth. It wouldn't benefit politicians. And you know, I would love to have him on board, especially to watch my back, because honestly, this is the joke one of my kids just make. I ain't gonna say a boy or girl, but this is one of the jokes one of my kids just make. She said, Daddy, them policies you have, them ideas you have, Daddy, don't go kill we. Daddy, don't kill we. Don't go into politics. I said, baby, everything will be all right. Don't worry. So, the ideas that I have, I'll be honest with you. If I start to push momentum, I feel some people will want to come after me. So I would love to have smoke on my side. I mean, Anthony Lewis.
Maybe you should look at someone like Stafford, because he came from the line of security too.
Oh, okay, you came from the line of security.
So Stafford could send in his application as well.
Yes. I would love to hear your ideas. Yeah, we should pitch some marbles together. We need to talk.
He's also asking, what is your views on religious education, corporal punishment, and the LGBT?
My views on religious education. Religion has its place, and I think it should be back in the schools. We used to have something called RI, you know. I used to love to go to classes. It was mixed up, where we talk about different religions and respecting different religions.
Religion instructions.
Yeah, and it had a deep impact on me. That is why I don't care who you serve, one God. We could come together. I think it should be back in the schools. It should be better structured, and we should have the resources and the manpower put in place to reach out to we children, especially in the schools. As for corporal punishment, I think we need some boot camps, right? It have a lot of parents who can't handle the children. I see it firsthand. Sometimes they just need somebody to give them a different perspective and directive. And I believe boot camps could go a big way. And we're talking about real camps, not them fancy thing they have in Trinidad and Tobago that you go and then you leave and so on and so on. Or if you say you're not going, you're not going. If you're not going, we send in the army for you. Sorry.
Let me just pull another question here from Antoinette Lewis. She's asking, how are you going to go about changing the current mindset of the citizens of this country who have grown for freeness and eat a food mentally?
Freeness and eat a food mentally. That's not hard, no. That's very easy. We just need to educate the country, reach out to the country, right? And show people that being productive, being active, and pushing towards nation building will work better, not just for them, but for the children in the future. It will benefit them to go that way instead of just stretching your hand for a pack of Pampers, a box of food, a tin of milk, or a box drink, right? So education, reaching out to people, and focusing on special points that would actually pull their minds away from that. Because look at this, we have a policy for daycare, community daycare, right? It's not free, right? So we could even start from there. So we have a structure for community daycare where you're paying $500 a month, right? But if you have issues where you can't feed a child or you end up in problems, we have what is it I said? We have Trinidad, will forgive me again. All we have something set up where you could get little food items or certain things, but it's not free. You'll be paying that 500 every month. So I believe we could change the minds of citizens, pull them away from that freeness mentality, right? Once they see that the government working for them instead of just taking from them.
On that same note, Anthony, I mean, when you drive through Port of Spain and all these other areas, you see homeless people on the street. Do you have anything put in place for people like them?
That breaks my heart.
Yeah.
We have disabled people on the streets, we have mentally ill people on the streets, and we have people who just have no way to live on the streets, especially in Port of Spain.
Yeah.
And people believe in just giving them a box of food and a glass of juice and beat the chest and say, yeah, I feed the people, I feed the street people, I do something good and God go bless me. God want more than that. Right now I'm working on some policies to help the physically challenged and the mentally ill, towards housing, towards medications and so on, towards clinics, standby clinics that would actually help these people. We don't want to leave any citizen behind, mentally or not, disabled or not. We want everybody to be on the same boat. Not all are we on the boat and them on a raft floating behind. Right. So we put in structures and policies in place to get these people off the street, get them housed, get them help, get them even self, as well as he is, educated, and get them into jobs. It will be a hard task, but if you have to understand this, if nobody takes up the task, it will never happen. And just giving them a box of food and juice and beating yourself on your chest and say, God will bless me 100-fold? No. God will quickly bless that person who will give the box of food.
Another question Samuel is asking, what is your core competency?
What is my core competency? What I'm made of? My heart. I have a big old heart. And that heart only have patriotism print on it. And yeah, that's what makes me who I am. That makes me the go-getter I am. That makes me, gives me the personality I have to freely talk without fear or favor, to do what's needed to be done. Yeah.
Well said. We're going to toss to news right now. We're going to come back and answer any more other questions that persons would like to ask the leader of the Trinidad and Tobago Democratic Front. So we're going to toss the news now and come back to the program. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome back to PSA TV. I'm Avalon Williams. Besides me here is the political leader of the Trinidad and Tobago Democratic Front, Mr. Anthony Williams. So, Anthony, we have a few questions coming in here, but before we go back to the questions, I just want to ask you, why wasn't there a specific color for your party?
We choose to go in that direction of no colors because colors divide the country. We have red, we have yellow, we have orange, we have green, and we have many other people coming with new colors. And every group that tags themselves to a color dividing the country. We want unity. So therefore, we decided that we was not going to use colors. Anytime you're looking for the party, you would see the symbol. You would only see the red, white, and black, the colors of the nation. And that is the only color we actually want to put out there in the approach that we and the way forward that we choose to take. So you would not see no colors, not a single color with the TTDF besides the red, white, and black.
So when you're doing your protests and all of that, is it just going to be plain color, logo?
Come in your shirt, come in any color you want. Come in your home clothes, come in your going out clothes, but we will never be focused on one color.
Okay. I just want to pull a question here from Antoinette Lois. She said, if elected, what is to be expected of you within the first 6 months, and how will you go about implementing it based on the current structure of government and the ability to have it realistically done?
Well, I will say I would love to implement a lot of new policies towards nation building, but we need the majority. So I would say to this young lady, help me get a majority, and you will see many, many things happening for this country. Working policies within the first 6 to 8 months that benefits all citizens. That's all I will say on that.
Another question she asked was, how will you treat holding persons accountable, especially when it comes to the public purse and corruption in various ministries?
When it comes to corruption in government, honestly, the constitution needs to change. Politicians need to make jail for the corruptive ways and stealing from taxpayers and putting our economy in certain position that we could actually end up as a failed state. I will call that treason. So for those policies to build and to be strong towards dealing with the purse string, we need to get the constitution not just reformed but renewed. We need a whole new constitution that don't hold water, that don't protect politicians, but one that works for citizens and protects citizens from politicians. Okay? A lot of people that say I'm heading into the arena and I'm a politician. I more look at myself as a champion, right? And as I say, the constitution needs to change, and the only way we could do that is with the majority, or if we have a working opposition, and you know that would never happen. UNC promised to change the constitution. PNM promised, well, PEP, UNC. A lot of past leaders promised to change the constitution, and to date, going in 2020, same old constitution. If anybody reads the constitution and understands the constitution, you will see where I'm coming from when I say the constitution do not protect citizens, and it only protects wrongdoing in the government. And to protect your purse string, you need to get up and fight with we.
Well said. Anthony, for those that are now joining us, could you, you said your launch is going to be on Saturday?
Yes, our launching is on the 10th. I got to say 5th. I think about, one of my kids' birthday coming up soon. The launching is on the 10th. It will be Saturday evening at the Old Skating Arena in Point 410. It is from 5 to 7, and we welcome the public. We have seating, we have standing, we have a whole room because it's a skating arena, and we have a lot of things that we want to talk to you about. So come out one, come out all who want change, all who not for color or political party. You're for change, you're patriotic, you're heart in it, and you really want to protect your children's future and future generation, come out. Trust me when I say come out.
I don't know if you want to take another question. PEP, which is PEP, been in government. You made any statement on that with PEP?
PEP, been in government.
Yeah.
This is Philip Alexander Party, PEP, Orange. Well, you asked me if PEP been in government. I believe
I think he's saying
PEP kind of been in government, no, because I believe there was Gary Griffith, communication officer, or something like that. I even saw a video where there was rating up Kamala and so on, saying, you know, she would make the difference, she would change things, and today, the same PEP leader now fighting against the same woman. So, I don't know what to say.
With the launching of your political party, would this be streamed online as well so persons can view it? If they
Yes, we will be streaming online. We will do our best to make sure that we technical man have that set up. If not, we'll come to this forum here and kidnap one of them fellas. They're doing a good job.
Thank you so much. Well, Anthony, I wish you all the best with your launching of your new party. And you can always come back here to let us know what took place. You know, when you get in power, don't forget us.
No.
PSA TV will be still here standing.
PSA will work. And I will work together with them to make sure that we always have the best deals for the working class and for each and every citizen, especially when it comes to pay packages. Before we go, I would like the nation to know that right now, once we get there, I'm not saying if, once we get there, we plan to raise the minimum wage to 20. I would say only 20 because we don't know how bad it is. When we get there and we get the files in we hand, then we'll see how widespread the corruption was and what was not working. After 2 to 3 years, once the economy structured properly and is working and a work in progress, we want to raise it to 25. Because at 20, the average person getting about 3,200, still not enough. At 25, you're getting about 3,200, still not good enough. But right now, even worse, the average person working for minimum wage, getting about 2,200, that is the average person. Wise economists say that the average person in Trinidad and Tobago needs $6,000 to survive, especially if you're paying rent, you don't have your own house, you have rent to mind, bills to pay, and so on. And even in today's world, it has people working for $500 a week. In my area in Point Fortin. Actually, my mother was one of them. She was working for a store owner, and she was getting about $500 a week. They wasn't even paying NIS. So all these is issues we had to deal with when it comes to better living wages and minimum wages. And working with the unions and the PSA is the best bet, because the only way we could change it is if all of us come together with one common goal: betterment for all citizens.
Very nice. Anthony, I just want to ask, on what grounds do you think persons should support a political party? I mean, you gave us your ground.
We're not looking for followers. Please, if you want to be followers, we will never get that change. We'll never get it done. We're looking for leaders. Everybody that joins the Trinidad and Tobago Democratic Front will be considered a leader. Decisions that we make together, we make it with each other, hand in hand, as leaders. It will not have no one leader like how we have in each and every structured party who does be in interviews and radio talk shows and talking about, I have so much and so much of followers. So you know what they're saying there? There are so much and so much of stupid people following them. Sorry, but I have to put it out there. Or I have so much and so much members. Again, same spray for cockroach. We need leaders. Please understand this. If you're coming to me, come to me with the value that you're coming to do for your community. What you could do to grow your community, to build your community, to help the people in your community. Don't come to me telling me what you're getting out of it. Otherwise, trust me, better be a follower for another party.
Are you even open to screening and stuff for persons that want to join?
Yes,
where they can reach you at?
We will be opening to screening very, very soon. You could call us. You could call me, the PL. You could call me on 782-3284. That's 782-3284. You could send an email to ttdf.front@gmail.com, or you could follow us on Facebook at TTDF People First. So that's at TTDF People First on Facebook. For other media inputs and outlets, we're still doing some work, we're still building, and we will have more information on where you could go, where you could sign up, where you could meet us, where you could talk to us, and so on.
Your closing comments.
My closing comments are, Trinidad and Tobago, we need to be real. There is no red, there is no yellow, there is no race, there is no Indian, there is no African, there is no mix in unity and in citizens. We need to come together as a people, right? Focus on all the outsiders, right? I want all to focus on all the outsiders that past and present government letting into our country and pushing you, the citizens, aside when you, the citizens, supposed to be first. So they are pushing my children aside, they are pushing your children aside. Think about the advantages that the outsiders getting, right? That you not getting, right? They needed a policy for a certain group, they get it one time. You need a policy, you have to wait years and years and years, and every government change before you get one little thing done. Think about these things when you're getting ready to fight red and yellow or race. It have no race in us coming together. Understand that.
Thank you so much. So I want to thank you, Anthony Wilson, for stopping by, opening up, letting us know that this party is going to be launched on Saturday. I wish you all the best in your endeavors and beyond here at PSA TV.
And thank you for having us very, very much.
You're welcome. So we're going to toss a short break and come back to the program.